Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the final episode of Monster Tamer News for 2020. This year's definitely been an interesting one. On one end, what's been going on in the world has been nothing short of tragic, but on the other end, this community has brought me so much happiness despite these dark times. With that being said, expect two special videos that I wanted to come out with towards the end of the year. Hopefully, if everything goes well, the first will be on the 31st, and it'll basically be a retrospective of 2020 as it pertains to the monster taming genre. And on January 1st, again, if everything goes according to plan, I wanted to upload a video talking about what 2021 is going to bring forth, and basically how everyone's saying 2020 is a year of monster taming, but 2021 is probably going to be even crazier. In fact, I think it's almost safe to say that the 2020s are going to be the decade of monster taming. Anyways, this week we have a brand new Temtem to talk about, some more information regarding the Nexomon nuzlocke update, an interesting factoid that came out of the Capcom leak regarding Monster Hunter Stories 2 and its exclusivity to Nintendo, several updates to games that are currently in early access, and more. So with all that being said, for one last time in 2020, sit back, relax, and let's dive right in. Okay, so in Temtem news, we have received the official in-game model for Sparzy's pre-evolution without any real context, unfortunately. We still don't know its name, but interestingly, the Temtem Twitter said that we'll be getting our hands on it next year, so I know this isn't a revelation of sorts, but we do know that the game's update won't be coming until 2021. There's no chance we're going to be getting it before that within the next few days, so if you were hoping for that, unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. Other than that, Temtem was also featured on Team's bestseller list of 2020 under the bronze category, which is no small feat, so congratulations to Crema for that and keep up all the hard work. Anitons has launched their Steam page in part as a way to show publishers that there is interest in the game. If you remember correctly, the Anitons Kickstarter fell through, so unfortunately the game won't be funded through public means. However, if enough people wishlist the game, it'll show interest to potential publishers, which the devs are asking people to do. The game had over 700 backers, which in and of itself was pretty promising, but I guess for those of you who couldn't back for whatever reason, or maybe were waiting for the game to be ported to console, you can go and wishlist the game to sort of show support. It's free, so why not, right? I'm sure the devs would appreciate it. Now, real quick, while we are on the topic of Steam, there are a ton of games on sale at the moment. If you'd like to learn more about their prices and whatnot, we went through them on yesterday's video, so make sure to check that out. But anyways, in Cyrillum news, the beta just updated to version 0.6 and was huge as promised. It featured the following: the Gates of the Gods, which allows you to face off against the various god characters, and if you win, you obtain their avatars. Ultimate Spell Gems, which, as the name suggests, are extremely powerful. The Rhodian Creature Masters, which will appear in realms and drop various items, including wartime costumes, trait materials, etc. More specializations, including the Pyromancer, the Doombringer, the Blood Mage, the Astrologer, and Warden. Over 1,700 achievements, more traits, costumes, skin prophecies. Holy crap, there's literally so much stuff in this update, it's insane. For the full list of patch notes, you can definitely check out the Cyrillum Ultimate Steam page or their Discord. Something of note is that the update has also been patched several times since, and it's been basically just fixing bugs since then, so the patch is pretty stable at this point. The Coromon developers have confirmed through their devlog that they're going to be working on a custom difficulty mode, which will allow for various modifications to the game, such as randomizers, limited use items, how many times you can restore the trainer hub, etc. It seems like they're taking a page out of Nexomon Extinction's book, and I gotta say, I love it. They've also shared this screenshot on Twitter, noting that this cosmetic hat will only be available for a limited time, so make sure to pick it up while you can. Now, speaking of Nexomon, the official Twitter has just confirmed that the new update is almost ready and they're basically just waiting on translations. Given the obvious availability issues with translators during the holiday, it might just take a little bit longer, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get this update very early next year. I'm talking like week 1 or 2. And don't worry, I'll be doing a whole other playthrough of the game in this mode. It's nice that we did have a few months in between, because now this will make the game feel a lot more fresh than it would have been if we had just done a randomizer right after. So I'm personally really excited for this. Now, speaking of releases, this week Mython Island officially released in its early access, and I will be interviewing the developer on our podcast, which you can go submit your questions for in our Discord. The more questions for the dev, the better, so definitely make sure to get your input in. Relegend Early Access recently updated to version 16.3.8, which chiefly focuses on Christmas festivities, including celestial Magnuses, which can appear throughout all biomes, the Shadow Isle, which comes with 2 new items, being the Shadow Fragment and the Shadow Egg, some new Christmas furniture, a ton of wallpapers to choose from, some decorations like a Christmas tree, for example, wild loot, limited cosmetics, and a few bug fixes. The game is preparing for full launch, so of course we'll keep you updated on that front as well. The Final Stardust YouTube channel has been going a little nuts lately, uploading quite a few soundtracks, which we did touch on last week, but I'll play just one of them here because I can't play like 5 soundtracks in a row. But anyways, we'll play one of them here. So this is the world map theme. Let's take a listen. In Abomination news, Carl over at Orange Pylon has revealed the 100th and final Abomi to be included in the upcoming title, Abomination. This guy here is Ostracis, I don't know how to pronounce it, an upside down ostrich with eyes coming out of its bum. It was actually the very first Abomi conceptualized, animated, and implemented, so it's kind of funny that it's the last to be revealed but the first to be designed. Kind of interesting. Sort of like a celebration to look back on. This Abomi is an Earth and Air type. Ark has also joined in on the holiday festivities to bring forth a couple of new monsters, including Raptor Claws and Gotcha Claws. The event also includes various festivity items, event-specific skins, double XP, chibis, and more. Another week in December means another week of blobs brought forth from the Ova Magica Advent calendar, and they are as follows: the Crow Blob, the Flower Bunny Blob, the Dragonfly Blob, the Pumpkin Blob, the Celestial Blob, and the Ice Blob. The developer of Mython in a Bottle has gone on a rather extensive Twitter rant going over the type system of the game, which is definitely interesting, especially given the context of the tweet. So Mython types are based off of colors, where each color holds an affinity for a type. He states that blue acts as sort of a bucket for water and ice, yellow for electric and wind, etc. I'm looking forward to getting an exact chart on how each will work, but I know a big part of his goal is to make sure everything's balanced. Alright, so as per the usual, for the rest of this week's episode, we're going to enter rapid fire mode and go over those updates that require less explanation. Monster Crown recently updated to version 1.542, which includes various bug fixes as well as an adjustment to the HP bar graphic, a hard cap to level increasing via your stats, and more. Monster Sanctuary updated to fix its PvP glitch, so make sure to go wild with your level 40 teams now. Patch Quest is currently trending on the popular upcoming Steam releases, so definitely congratulations to Liam on that. Interesting piece of Monster Hunter Stories news that we mentioned earlier is that according to the Capcom leak, Nintendo paid Capcom $6 million for 9 months of exclusivity. So if the same leak is true regarding the game's PC launch, it won't be for at least 9 months. The Chain Monster developer recently confirmed that the alpha will be coming early 2021 for backers, and they will be uploading a development roadmap very soon. The Drugimon developer showcased a few new screenshots, the first being the storage system, and then we have some monsters and their movesets. We got a brand new Xenoscape clip this week, this time of the Water Boss. Sato revealed a new disc creature for the upcoming Disc Creatures World, which is a cat ghost thing in a cup, and it's great. The Japanese release of Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne Remastered has added an option to remove skill inheritance from fused demons, but other than that, there have been a lot of complaints that the game is quite buggy, so perhaps it is best that it came out in the East first, so we get a better product in the West. The Sky Climbers developer showcased a simple screenshot of what the quote-unquote deck screen looks like for each monster. We got 2 new Unai for the upcoming game Harmony Between Us, the first being Malwit, a dim-witted biting Unai, and the second being what seems to be an evolution, and it's called Mawrath, the Rampage Unai. These are really solid designs in my opinion. We got a brand new idle animation for the Pegasus legendary of Necromancer's Gift, who's definitely looking pretty thick, and finally a game we haven't quite talked about yet, but is being created by a developer you may know, that being the team behind Xander the Monster Morpher, are working on a new game called Goddess Lost in Trance, and we've been given a pretty interesting piece of information regarding the monster roster, and that's that 20% of the game's roster will consist of returning Xander monsters, so that's definitely pretty cool. So yeah guys, quite a bit of news this week, and I think things are really going to ramp up as the year comes to an end and the new year commences, with updates like Temtem Sipanku and Nexomon's expansion right around the corner. I can't help but be super excited for what's to come. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for an amazing year, and I look forward to continuing to serve as your sort of one-stop shop for all things monster taming. So I'll definitely see you guys in the next one. Peace out.